I want you to stop networking harder. I want you to think about know, like, and trust. Are you drowning in business cards that lead nowhere? You're attending lots of networking events that feel like a wasted time, and you're watching your competitors land clients while your referrals stay frustratingly unpredictable. And the solution isn't another marketing tactic. It's not a sales funnel. It's not a lead generation system. It's mastering the know, like, and trust factor, the relationship foundation that turns your casual contacts into your most powerful business development engine. Hi everyone, this is Steve Black with Let's Talk Referrals. Welcome to my next video on the know, like, and trust factor. You've got a relationship crisis and it's killing your business growth. You've been told that success comes from working harder, attending more events, making more connections, networking, follow up faster. But really what we should be talking about is that networking is just the start of it. That's how the connections happen. See, around 85% of business professionals probably go to the same networking events again and again, the Chamber of Commerce, BNI, whatever it is, and they have the exact same problem. They network constantly, but they don't get the results they want. They meet people who promise to refer business or connect them, yes, I'll reach out, but they never do. They invest time in relationships that feel transactional rather than meaningful. And the problem isn't your effort, it's the approach. I was like this when I first started out, right? You're told you need to join the Chamber of Commerce when you start your business. You need to go to these events. You need to go around. I did custom window treatments, and I signed up to do tours with realtors to go around the houses. I brought snacks and drinks and did presentations. I did presentations to different groups of people. And it was just a numbers game. The more chances I got to talk in front of people, and the more chance I got to network with people in a room, the more opportunities I would get. Right? Well, that's not what happened. People say that BNI doesn't work, or networking doesn't work, or Chamber of Commerce doesn't work. It's because it's a scattershot approach that creates an exhausting cycle where you're perpetually starting from scratch. You're trying to convince people you don't know very well, strangers, why they should trust you with their business or their referrals. And you've got a small percentage of people that get it, right? They seem to have cracked the code. Their phones ring with warm referrals. Their networks actively promote their services. They're selective about who they work with because opportunities seek them out. And the difference is they've actually built their business on the know, like, and trust factor. And they've made it a systematic program, a thing they do, rather than just accidental. It's like when you're quiet, you don't go to networking events. When it's quiet, you go to networking events. When it's busy, you don't go to networking events. And what we got to figure out, and what I'm trying to share with you today, is what the know, like, and trust factor actually means and why most of us got it wrong. It's not new. You've heard it before. But understanding the concept and implementing it in your business is entirely different. So let's break down what each component really means in practice. And let's start with knowledge, right? I know you. It's not just about knowing you. It's way beyond brand name recognition or company recognition. It means your network understands what you do and who you serve. And really, more importantly, what makes you different from everybody else that does what you do. See, when somebody knows you properly, they can articulate your value to others without you being in the room. They recognize situations where your expertise solves a problem. They think of you automatically when relevant opportunities arise. And most of us, stop at that surface level awareness. They hand out business cards and assume people know them. But real knowledge requires education, demonstration, and repeated exposure to your expertise, not just to you. Now, the like addresses the human reality that people do business with people they enjoy being around. This isn't about being somebody's best friend. Got to be a BFF or whatever the term is. It's about being genuine, approachable, and others who want to support. Likeability stems from shared values, mutual respect, and the way you show up for others. And again, if you think back at how this works for you, we believe mistakenly that competence alone will drive referrals. Being good at what we do will drive referrals, and it's wrong. They're actually completely unrelated in some respects. See, two equally competent professionals compete for the same opportunity, and the one that people like will win every time. We're wired to help people that we connect with emotionally. And trust is just the culmination of everything else, right? It's built through consistency, delivered promises, demonstrated integrity over time. Trust makes people confident enough to stake their own reputation on recommending you. It's the difference between somebody saying, I know a person who does that, and you absolutely need to work with this person. And here's the critical insight. These three components work together as a progressive system, not isolated tactics. You can't skip to trust without establishing know and like first. You can't maintain like without deepening that knowledge of you. And none of it happens through sporadic effort or one-time interactions. It's a deliberate strategy that requires systematic implementation across every aspect of how you build and maintain business relationships. If I don't know you, there's no way I'm going to give you a referral. If I don't like you, I'm definitely not going to give you a referral. If I don't trust you, you're not going to get my best referrals. And this know, like, and trust needs to be a foundation, not just another tactic you use to try and get more business. Every business book out there, I've read a lot of them, and there are a lot of good books out there. But they've got this next great strategy to get more clients. Every guru sells a different system. You've probably tried several: content marketing, social media campaigns, paid advertising, email funnels, cold outreach programs, cold calls. Some produced results. Most felt like pushing water uphill. You know what I mean. This know, like, and trust factor is fundamentally different because it's not a tactic you layer on top of your business. It's the foundation of your business that determines whether any other strategy succeeds or fails. Think about your own buying behavior. When did you last purchase a significant service? Legal help, financial planning, business consulting, home renovation. Did you choose the company with the flashiest ad? Or did you go with somebody you knew, you liked, and you trusted? Did you respond to a cold sales pitch, or did you act on a trusted recommendation? Research consistently shows that customers acquired through referrals have a 37% higher retention rate and a 25% higher lifetime value compared to customers acquired through other channels. Why? Because they arrive pre-sold. They already know, like, and trust you because of the transfer through somebody else's relationship with you. And when you build your business on this foundation, you stop chasing prospects and start attracting them. You stop competing on price because value is understood. You stop having to explain your worth because credibility precedes you. The know, like, and trust factor isn't what you do after you build your business. It's what you build your business on. And this shift from tactical thinking to foundational strategy changes everything. Instead of asking, what marketing should I try next? You ask, how does this help people know, like, and trust me? Instead of measuring success by how many people you met, how many business cards you collected, you measure by how deeply those relationships developed. Every customer touch point, your website copy, your follow-up process, your service delivery, your communication style either strengthens or weakens that know, like, and trust. Most businesses have never audited their operations through this lens. They're unknowingly sabotaging the very relationship that could fuel their growth. It's a loyalty and reputation engine that runs on autopilot because once you establish a strong know, like, and trust relationship with somebody, something remarkable happens. Your business development shifts from manual labor to an automated system. You've built what these top performers call a loyalty and reputation engine, and it generates opportunities while you sleep. It's maybe a slight exaggeration, but you never know who's in the middle of the night, right? Here's how it works. You get increased sales velocity. It occurs because buying friction disappears. When prospects arrive through trusted referrals, they've already been convinced of your value. A sale isn't about persuading them you're capable, it's about confirming you're the right fit. Decision cycles compress, price resistance drops, close rates soar. When I was a window treatment provider down in Austin, I was a member of BNI, and when I got a referral from a BNI member, I was closing 9 out of 10 of them. When I got a lead off a website, I was closing 1 or 2 out of 10. So if you think about it, if you connect with a prospect who found you through a search or an ad or a website, you're starting from zero. They're skeptical, price sensitive, comparing you against everybody else. You could invest hours in proposals, presentations, negotiations. You might still lose to someone cheaper. In the second scenario, you get referred to someone who needs exactly what you offer. The conversation starts with, Sarah said you're the best person for this. That prospect enters that relationship already knowing your value, already liking you because someone they trust vouched for you. And that trust helps you deliver results. Now, which sales cycle would you prefer to repeat? The greater loyalty transforms one-time customers into lifetime advocates. See, when people genuinely know, like, and trust you, they don't just buy again. They become part of your business development team. They mention you in conversations. They make introductions. They defend you against competitors. They actively look for opportunities to send business your way. This is why BNI works so well. We're training people how to build that know, like, and trust within their BNI chapter to get those referrals. And this loyalty isn't purchased through discounts or loyalty programs. It's earned through consistent delivery to the people that know, like, and trust you. Every interaction either reinforces or diminishes that foundation. Acquiring new customers can cost 5 to 7 times more than retaining existing ones if you have repeat customers. If you can increase customer retention rates by just 5% or can increase profits just by 25%, what difference would that make to your business? Loyal customers don't just repeat purchases either. They refer others, creating an exponential growth rather than linear addition. Somebody who's referred to you is more likely to refer somebody new to you because that's how they found you in the first place. And enhanced reputation. This becomes your most valuable marketing asset. As your network expands, your reputation precedes you into new markets, new opportunities, new relationships. You're invited to speak, ask for advice, sought out for partnerships, and recommended for opportunities you didn't even know existed. And this reputation effect, it compounds over time. Each successful relationship creates multiple new connections. Each delivered promise strengthens your credibility. Each referral validates your expertise to new audiences. This reputation you build through the know, like, and trust factor is also remarkably resilient. See, when challenges arise, and they will, people who know, like, and trust you give you the benefit of the doubt. They allow for mistakes. They reach out directly rather than complaining publicly. They remain loyal when competitors just offer discounts. They stay engaged during slow periods. And this is why I feel that you really can't survive without this. So if you're in a service-based business, it doesn't matter what you do. You can do consulting, coaching, professional services. You're a HVAC contractor, a plumber, a roofer, financial advisor, realtor, insurance agent. The know, like, and trust factor isn't optional. In fact, it's probably applicable to every single business that has people that directly interacts with customers. As a product business, you'll have tangible proof points, right? Customers can see, touch, test, evaluate products before purchasing. It makes it a little bit easier. They can read detailed specifications, compare features, return items if they're disappointed. The purchase decision, while still influenced by trust, relies on an objective criteria. However, service businesses sell promises. You're asking clients to invest significant money in outcomes they can't see, touch, or evaluate until after they've committed. They're buying your expertise, your process, your judgment, your reliability, none of which can be measured objectively beforehand. For those that are in the service business where there's not a finished product, this know, like, and trust becomes paramount for you. It's the only bridge across the chasm between a prospect's need and their willingness to commit. Consider the decision process someone faces when hiring a business consultant or a financial advisor or a marketing agency. They're confronting questions like, will this person actually understand my unique situation? Can they deliver the results they're promising? Am I going to regret this investment, especially when it's a big one? Will they still be responsive after they have my money? Could I find someone better if I keep looking? Every one of these questions is about trust. No brochure, no website, no presentation can definitively answer those questions. Only the know, like, and trust factor can bridge that uncertainty, that referral from somebody they know. And this explains why service businesses built on transactional relationships struggle. They're asking prospects to take enormous leaps of faith with insufficient foundation. They wonder why their close rates lag, why price becomes the only differentiator, why clients seem perpetually skeptical. Meanwhile, service providers who've invested in know, like, and trust often they enjoy dramatically different conversations. Their prospects arrive with questions like, when can you start? What do you need from me? How do we make this happen? The buying decision was already made before the sales conversation began. The prospect just needs to confirm things. It's not just a competitive advantage. It's everything for your business. And it also explains why referrals matter exponentially more for service providers than product sellers. I'm not saying referrals aren't good for both. They are. But when someone refers a service provider, they're transferring their own know, like, and trust capital to that provider. They're essentially saying, I'm so confident in this person that I'm willing to stake my own reputation on them. And that transfer credibility is worth thousands of dollars in marketing and months of relationship building. It's why top service providers can build thriving practices with virtually zero traditional marketing. This know, like, and trust generates all the business they can handle. Now, there are some mistakes you can make that can sabotage your know, like, and trust. Even professionals who understand the importance of this often undermine it through common mistakes. These errors aren't obvious. They seem like reasonable business practices, but they silently erode the very foundation you're trying to build. First, treating every contact like a transaction. You meet someone at an event, immediately pitch your services, ask for referrals within days, and grow frustrated when nothing materialized. This approach mistakes contact for connection. It triggers defensive postures rather than building genuine relationships. Know, like, and trust requires patience. It's built through multiple low-pressure interactions where you demonstrate value before asking for anything in return. It's strengthened by showing genuine interest in others' success before promoting your own. When you lead with things like, how can I help you, rather than here's what I do, you begin building that like. When you follow up with useful information rather than sales pitches, you deepen the knowledge. When you consistently deliver value without immediate expectation of return, you're starting to establish trust. The second mistake is being inconsistent in your communications and your presence. You attend networking events sporadically. You post on social media when you remember. You reach out to your network only when you need something. And this inconsistency prevents that know, like, and trust from taking root. Relationships require regular cultivation. People who see you consistently, weekly meetings, regular content, reliable follow-up, develop familiarity that breeds comfort. Those who encounter you randomly never move beyond this superficial awareness. Consider two realtors. The first attends monthly networking events occasionally, follows up sporadically, and contacts people when they're looking for new clients. The second commits to weekly networking meetings, sends monthly value-driven emails to his entire network, schedules quarterly coffee meetings with key contacts. After 1 year, who do you think has the deeper relationship? After 3 years, whose business can run on referrals while the other still hustles for every client? The third mistake is actually focusing on yourself instead of serving others. See, conversation revolves around your services, your achievements, your needs. Your content promotes your offerings. Your networking goals center on what you can get. This self-focus repels rather than attracts. See, the paradox of the know, like, and trust factor is that you build it fastest by focusing on others. When you help someone solve a problem, you make a valuable introduction, you share useful information, or simply listen with genuine interest, you create reciprocity and goodwill that naturally leads to referrals. The professionals with this strongest know, like, and trust factor are known as connectors and problem solvers first and service providers second. They've built reputations for helping others succeed, which makes their networks eager to help them in return. Mistake number 4. Failing to educate your network about what you actually do. See, people in your network want to refer to you, but they can't effectively refer what they don't understand. If you're vague about your ideal client, you're unclear about your specific value, you're inconsistent in your messaging, even your strongest advocate won't know who to send your way. See, the know component of the know, like, and trust factor requires deliberate education. You need to clearly communicate exactly what problems you solve, specifically who you serve best, and yes, you can have more than one. Precisely what results you deliver, distinctly what makes you different. This clarity enables referral partners to recognize opportunities on your behalf. They become extensions of your business development efforts because they understand what success looks like for you. Mistake number 5, neglecting the relationship after the sale. Or even during the sale, let's be honest. Right? You pour effort into building know, like, and trust with prospects. They disappear once they become clients or once you've got the referral. You stop communicating regularly, fail to ask for feedback, and only reach out when selling additional services. See, this post-sale neglect wastes your most valuable relationships. Your existing clients, your customers, represent your highest probability source of future business and referrals. They already know, like, and trust you. Maintaining and deepening those relationships should be easier than building new ones. Yet most of us do the opposite. When you're a strong business, you have a systematic approach for staying connected with past clients, regular check-ins, valuable content sharing, appreciation events, asking for referrals at natural moments, and creating reasons to stay top of mind. It's a system. It's a framework. Knowing the system is going to be the most important thing you can do here. Implementing it systematically into your business really will make a difference. So I've got a framework I'm going to share with you that I think would help you build a predictable and scalable referral business. The phase 1 is audit your current situation. So before you start building new strategies, you've got to find out where you are now. Assess where you stand. Ask yourself, how many people in my network could accurately describe what I do and who I serve? This is very important for BNI members. Just because you've got 30 or 40 people in the room with you that are listening to your weekly presentations doesn't mean they know exactly what you do and who you serve. That's why one-to-ones are so critical. How many of them would describe you as someone they generally like and want to support? How many trust you enough to refer their own contacts to you? And be brutally honest. There's a great test you can do for this, especially in a networking group that you attend on a regular basis like BNA. You can sit there and say, before I go to the meeting, I'm going to write names down of every single member in the chapter. I guarantee that you will miss some names. You'll think you'll have got them all, but there'll be one or two you miss. There may be new members, there may be people that you just don't refer business backwards or forwards to. But it's a great way to literally find out if you're in the knowledge stage of your relationship. If you're not receiving consistent referrals, your know, like, and trust factor needs work. If people seem confused about your services, the knowledge part of it is weak. If networking feels transactional, you haven't built that like or likability. Also, you need to audit your business touchpoints. Review your website, your email communications, your service delivery, follow-up process, networking approach through a know, like, and trust lens. Where are you building these relationships, these factors? Where are you undermining them? What are you saying that could hurt or help you? Phase 2, choose your relationship building structure. Scattered, unstructured networking rarely builds strong know, like, and trust. You need consistent systems that create regular touchpoints and deepen relationships over time. This is where structured networking organizations excel. Groups like BNI, Business Network International, provide built-in frameworks that systematically build that know, like, and trust factor through weekly meetings, structured referral processes, and accountability systems. As an executive director for 2 BNI regions in Texas, I've seen hundreds of members generate hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars of business and referrals because of that structure. But structured networking isn't just limited to formal organizations. You can create your own systems. You could host a monthly mastermind group. You can do quarterly client appreciation events, or even just yearly, though I would recommend doing more often than that. You could create weekly LinkedIn engagement routines or regular one-on-one coffee meetings with key contacts. The key is consistency and commitment. This know, like, and trust compounds through regular interaction, not sporadic bursts of activity. Phase 3 is about the education. Most professionals assume people understand their value. They're wrong. You must deliberately educate your network. You need to teach them about the specific problems you solve. and specific. When I mean specific, not generic descriptions. Your ideal client profile, so that when people meet them, they recognize them. Your unique approach or methodology. Your unique approach and methodology. What makes you different? Success stories and outcomes, concrete examples, what good referrals look like. Clarity drives action. I'll give you a little story. My daughter was at Texas State University. She did interior design. When she graduated, she went and worked for an interior design firm in Austin. And I did window treatments and window films, decorative window films. And there was one time that she was talking through a project she was working on and showing me pictures, and she showed a picture of something I did. And I said, I do that, right? She said, no, did not have a clue. After that, I started getting referrals from the business. She talked to the boss about who I was and what I did, and I started getting referrals. My own daughter didn't know what I did for a living. Okay? See, in structured networking settings, this education happens through weekly presentations and one-on-one meetings, consistent messaging. Outside those settings, you need to create your own educational touch points. You need to create regular content sharing, speaking opportunities, educational events, or systematic one-on-one conversations. The goal isn't to bore people with your life story. It's to equip them to recognize opportunities and consistently and confidently refer you when these relevant situations arise. And phase 4 is about genuine service. You develop the like factor through genuine service. Right? Likability isn't about personality transplants or forced charisma. It's about consistently showing up as someone others want to succeed. Let's be honest. If you're grumpy and complain all the time, we probably won't like you that much. But I'm not saying you should be the life and soul of the party and dance around like you're trying to entertain a bunch of kids at the clown party. Right? Make introductions that benefit others without immediate return. Share valuable information without sales agendas. Celebrate when somebody else is successful. Listen more than talking. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Use them proportionally, right? Following through on every commitment, no matter how small. Being genuinely curious about others' challenges and goals. Showing gratitude and appreciation. These sorts of behaviors build emotional bank accounts. I call them social bank accounts. They create goodwill and reciprocity. When people like you, and I don't mean just tolerate you, but generally want you to help you succeed, they become active advocates rather than passive contacts. Phase 5 is to earn trust through consistent delivery and integrity. Trust can't be rushed. It helps if you've been introduced and made a referral. Your trust can be passed on, but it's your trust with somebody you're trying to build a network with is built through accumulated evidence that you're reliable, honest, and capable. Every promise kept builds trust. Every expectation exceeded reinforces it. Every challenge handled with integrity strengthens it. Conversely, every missed deadline, every overpromise, every shortcut chips away at that trust you've spent months building. The professionals with unshakable trust have learned that integrity isn't situational. They just do what they sell to do, even when no one's watching. They admit mistakes quickly. They put others' interests first in ambiguous situations. They're consistent in how they show up, regardless of who's in the room. This consistency creates a reputation, and it precedes you. People refer you with confidence because they trust you won't embarrass them or disappoint their contacts. And then phase 6, creating a systematic referral generation. See, once you've built the strong like and trust, you need systems that convert it into actual business opportunities. It doesn't mean pestering people for referrals. It means creating natural, comfortable ways for your network to refer to you. So regular updates that keep you top of mind, clear referral requests at appropriate moments, easy ways for people to make introductions. You could use email templates, connection forms. Recognition and gratitude for referrals received. Think about it. Somebody gives you a referral, you've got to say thank you. You have an appointment, let them know when the appointment is. When you've been to the appointment, let them know how the appointment went. Keep in touch, communicate. Recognition and gratitude for referrals received. This does not mean a financial thank you of any kind. It just means gratitude. And follow-up systems that keep everybody informed. Plus, and probably the most important thing is to actually give referrals. Reciprocal referral giving that demonstrates it's a two-way street. What you'll also need to do is track your referral sources, systematically strengthen those relationships. You should know who sends you business. you should know who sends you referrals. And you should invest in those connections, whether it's coffees, lunch, dinners, gifts, whatever it is you want to do. Okay? Just never, ever forget to say thank you. This isn't a project with a completion date. It's a continuous practice built through daily and weekly habits that compound over time. So you've got some different things you can do. We call them high leverage habits you can commit to consistently to build that social capital, that relationship capital. First, structured weekly networking. You really need to commit to one consistent structured networking opportunity every week. And I'm obviously going to be, I'm biased. I'm going to recommend BNI. A networking group like BNI is going to give you that structure and that networking opportunity where you can build the know, like, and trust with 20, 30, 40, 50 other professionals in the room. If BNI chapter's not available, reach out to me. Let me know where you are. I'll find somebody that can help you wherever you are with the BNI chapter. You could set up a mastermind meeting or join a mastermind meeting. There's industry associations like the Home Builders Association, the Realtors Association, or just get together with a group of people that could help you with this know, like, and trust. The specific venue matters less than the consistency and the structure. BNI has been around for over 40 years doing this and been very successful at it. This weekly interaction will create familiarity impossible to achieve through monthly or sporadic contact. And if you're trying to do it with 20 or 30 people at the same time, how on earth do you expect to have 20 or 30 coffee meetings every week? This regular meeting provides regular opportunities to educate your network about what you do, and it builds genuine friendships rather than superficial business relationships. You also need to find a system to set up some daily relationship touches. It doesn't need to be every person every day, but you need to spend 15 to 30 minutes daily on relationship maintenance. Congratulating connections on achievements, sharing relevant articles, making introductions, commenting on social posts, sending quick check-in messages. These little micro interactions keep you present in others' minds without requiring massive time investments. They demonstrate that you're thinking about your network's success, not just your own. Weekly value creation if you can, right? All of this is going to take time. You've got to start with things. Maybe you don't do all of these at the beginning. But if you can share valuable content, insights, resources with your network on a regular basis, whether it's a blog post, a LinkedIn article, an email newsletter, a video like this, or curated resources, you can consistently deliver value and it positions you as a resource rather than a salesperson. It keeps you top of mind while building your know and trust factors simultaneously. Monthly one-on-one deepening is kind of like create a schedule of having one-to-one conversations with key relationships monthly. And these could be coffee meetings, video calls, lunch conversations focused on understanding others' goals and challenges and needs. In BNI, we call them one-to-ones. We recommend you have one-to-one a week. If you're going to have lunch, why not go to lunch with somebody? And these conversations are critical to strengthen the like and trust components while you uncover referral opportunities, collaboration opportunities. They also demonstrate that you value relationships beyond that transactional benefit. You'll need to do a quarterly network assessment. Nothing stands still, nothing stays the same. Every quarter, assess your network's health. Review who you've connected with, who you've lost touch with, who needs additional attention, what relationship building is working, and also maybe those that should be let go. Not everybody is going to be a good fit for you. This assessment prevents relationships from accidentally falling through the cracks, but also ensures your efforts focused on your highest value connections. And the one biggest thing you can do above everything else I've shared with you is to initiate a referral acknowledgement and follow-up system. When someone refers you, acknowledge it immediately with genuine gratitude. Follow up with both the referrer and the referred prospect immediately, quickly, professionally, and report back to the referrer on the outcomes. This system will reinforce that referring you is rewarding and appreciated, and it will encourage future referrals. It also demonstrates the trust component because you honor the relationship that made the introduction. Okay, so talked a lot about this. I've got a couple of more things I want to share, but really this is probably the number one thing you need to focus on in your business, in my opinion. You now understand how the know, like, and trust factor is and should be important for your business. It's the foundation determining whether your business thrives or merely survives. You recognize that scattered networking, sporadic relationship building can't compete with systematic approaches that deepen connections over time. And the question isn't whether to build your business on the know, like, and trust factor. It's how quickly you commit to making it systematic rather than accidental. So I want you to think about your next step. In my mind, it would be identify the single biggest gap in your current know, like, and trust factor situation and commit to one systematic solution. If not many people know you, if your know is weak, people don't clearly understand what you do or who you serve, commit to structured networking where you'll educate the same group consistently. If your like needs a little work, your network feels transactional rather than relationship, focus on genuine service and value giving for the next 90 days. If trust is your gap, they know you, they like you, but they're not referring. Examine your consistency and your integrity in every transaction. The professionals winning in your market aren't luckier, more talented, or better connected to you. They've simply made it systematic. They've committed to structures that build know, like, and trust through repeated, consistent interaction rather than hoping referrals happen randomly. You can keep attending occasional networking events, hoping something clicks. You can keep buying leads, cold calling, competing on price, and starting from scratch with every prospect. And you can keep wondering why referrals are inconsistent and business feels like a constant hustle. Or you could think that maybe that know, like, and trust factor is the only sustainable competitive advantage you can build. You can commit to structured systems that deepen relationships over time. You can invest in becoming known, liked, and trusted so thoroughly that opportunities seek you out. The choice isn't complicated, but it is urgent, because every week you delay building this system is another week competitors strengthen their referral networks while yours stagnates. Your network will either become your most valuable business asset or another collection of contacts that might get a referral from eventually, but they generally lead nowhere. The difference is whether you build know, like, and trust systematically or accidentally. Look at every customer touchpoint in your business today. Where is the single biggest opportunity to build more know, like, and trust? What one systematic change would create the most significant improvement in how people perceive and refer you? That's where you start. Because while your competitors are still collecting business cards and hoping for referrals, you'll be building the relationship foundation that makes growth inevitable rather than accidental. This is Steve Black with Let's Talk Referrals. Thanks for listening.